You're welcome to you're welcome to today's session organized by SPA Ghana chapter, and I would want to wait for some few more people to join. So while we wait, there'll be a video playing. So please do not leave. We'll start in some few minutes. Thank you. Okay, so I think we can move on now. So thank you all for joining today's session. And this session is organized by SPA Ghana, specifically the Career Guidance and Outreach Committee, of which I'm highly privileged to be guided by this wonderful team to moderate the session. My name is Charity Class Peters, a service personnel at the Ghana National Gas Company Limited. And at the end of this meeting, we'll be equipped as professionals with the knowledge and strategies to maximize certifications and lifelong learning for career advancement. And our focus for today is how certification and lifelong learning drive career success. And I know at the end of the meeting, would understand the role of certification in career advancement. That is, would explore how professional certifications can enhance credibility and job prospects. Would recognize certifications like AWS, Amazon Web Services, IEMA, Institute of Environmental Management and Assessment, IIRSM, International Institute of Risk and Safety Management, and many others that can drive career success, or get to know how continuous learning and skill development can improve job mobility. Of course, we would have strategies for pursuing certifications and lifelong learning, and we'll discuss how certifications can benefit both individuals and organizations. So as you are here, you're not only going to benefit by your organization or the organization you work with or would work with, it's as well going to benefit. In today's Okay, so in today's fast evolving job market driven by rapid technological advancement, continuous learning isn't just beneficial, it's essential. It is actually a key to sustain success and job security. Of course, experience is good, certification is good, learning on the other hand is good. But the sweet spot is when we balance all three, because experience informs learning, certifications validates expertise, and learning keeps everything current. So we will never become outdated. We'll be abreast with the new code standards or protocols with regards to our profession. And getting the right certifications can significantly boost your credibilities and open doors to new opportunities. And it's not just about getting certified once, it's about embracing lifelong learning, because continuous education and skill development help you stay ahead of the curve. It helps you adapt to industry demands and enhances your job mobility. So wherever you are, I would want you to get your notebooks or writing materials ready. I'd want you to relax and stay tuned as we delve into today's session. And now to our housekeeping rules. Please do all to mute your microphones to prevent distraction. And if you would want to speak or send in a contribution, please send it through the chat box. If you'd want to speak to, you can raise your hand and you would be allowed in. And now to our icebreaker session. Please, if you can hear me, type in the chat box icebreaker session. Please, if you can hear me, type in the chat box icebreaker session. Hello. If you can hear me, type in the chat box icebreaker session. Already the room is icy because I'm the only one talking and I can't feel the participation of the professionals behind. So if you can hear me, please type in the chat box icebreaker session.
Please, the chat is disabled.
Yeah. Hello. Please, can you hear me?
Right, Charity, we can hear you. Kindly go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
I wasn't
But
seeing the chat. I
the,
wasn't seeing
the,
any reaction in the chat box.
the chat
So,
box is disabled by
okay.
the host.
Oh, I
Yes.
think you can still chat.
Okay.
Yeah, try typing something and let's see.
Yes, it's working now.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so please, if you can hear me, type in the chat box icebreaker session. As we break in the ice in the room because I can't feel your participation. And that's the moment I can feel your participation in the house. Icebreaker session. So our icebreaker session comprises of 3 questions about SPE. 3 questions about SPE. And this is where we get to know those really following SPE. So our first question is, please, are you ready? Our first question is, who is the current SPE International President? Please, you can send your answer in the chat box. Please send your answer in the chat box. Who is the current SPE International President? Who is the current SPE International President? Who is the current SPE International President? Please, I'm not seeing reactions in the chat box. Who is the current? Okay. So, Mr. or Sir Benedict Amwako, you had the answer right. So, our current SPE International President is Olivier Horst. So, thank you very much for the reactions. So, move to the next question. Move to our next question. So, our next question is, which major SPE conference is happening in August? Which major SPE conference is happening in August? I want to see some reactions in the chat box. Some reactions in the chat box as we continue to break the ice in the room. No answer is wrong. I want to see some reactions in the chat box. Which major SPE conference is happening in August? Which major SPE conference is happening in August? Which major SPE conference is happening in August? I want to see some more reactions. No answer is wrong at the moment. I want to see some more reactions in the chat box. Which major SPE conference is happening in August? Which major SPE conference is happening in August? Which major SPE conference is happening in August? So, I think that is the answer. Nigerian Annual International Conference exhibition is the major conference happening in August, and we would want to know the hosting city as well. So far, we've gotten to know the country, so knowing the hosting city would help. So the last question is, mention the hosting city. Mention the hosting city. Mention the hosting city. I would want to see some reactions in there. Wow, okay. Please, I would need more. Wow, thank you all for the participation. Okay. We are seeing only one answer, but is that the answer? Okay. So actually, that is the answer. This shows we are true followers of SPU, and that is very good. Okay, so at this juncture, I would move to our outline, of which we are done with the welcome and introduction. In some few minutes, we would have our opening address, then to our presentation, cross-questioning Q&A, and to our feedback survey and vote of thanks. So within less than an hour and 30 minutes, hopefully you will be out of here. So please bear with me and be prepared to be a part of today's session. And we know the few minutes that the presentation will happen, we'll still have more questions because our speaker may not be able to cover everything within the few minutes will be given. So please jot down your questions as he presents. So at this juncture, I would like to receive the opening address from Engineer Daniel Opon. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello, sir.
We can hear you, Prof.
Hello.
We can hear you, Prof.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a great evening engaging with all of you. When we decided to put this together, our aim is to open up a lot of young professionals to be able to take advantage of the learning platforms that are available so that they can leverage opportunity skills to advance their career. Chairman Edward is somebody that I have engaged with over the decade, and he's someone who is an authority when it comes to this subject. That is why we decided to invite him on board to give us a clear perspective on this. And as many of you who would engage in this webinar, I would like you to take keynotes to everything he says. And when the recording comes out, you need to keep it as one of those videos that you would revisit to be able to give you a clear perspective of a way forward. I trust that you all would learn so much from this and also share afterwards to other colleagues. And for SPE, we are very good at educating and building our young professionals. So welcome and have a great evening. Thank you all.
Thank you, Engineer Daniel Opon, for this educative address. I quote, I know Mr. Edward Deborah would give you a clear perspective on this. That is how certification and lifelong learning drive career success. So as you are here, I would want you to relax and note that you are not wasting your time at all as we delve into the presentation itself. And now to the introduction of our speaker. Our speaker for the day is a chartered environmentalist and sustainability professional. Hello, please, can you hear me?
You
Go ahead, we
are
can hear
heard
you.
very clearly.
Okay, so our speaker for the day is a chartered environmentalist and sustainability professional, a chartered resource and waste manager, an accomplished HSEQ executive with over 13 plus years of diverse industry experience across oil and gas, energy, construction, healthcare, education, and waste management. He's a recipient of several prestigious awards, including the 2024 UK 100 2023 AfriSave Industry Impact Award and 2022 IIRSM President's Commendation Award, becoming the first African to win this ultimate honor. He is highly regarded for his ability to enhance safety standards. He delivers customized training programs accredited by NEBOSH, IEMA, IOSH, and PECB. He specializes in developing, inspecting, auditing, and managing robust management systems aligned with ISO standards, ensuring regulatory compliance and operational efficiency. Indeed, a sought-after speaker. He has delivered presentations and keynotes at conferences in Ghana, Nigeria, the UK, Canada, and the Middle East, sharing his insights on health, safety, sustainability, environmental, and waste management. In addition to his executive and advisory roles, he is a regular contributor and columnist for Ghana's highly sought-after business and Financial Times newspaper, IEMA's Transform magazine, where he shares thought leadership and expertise on industry trends and best practices. Beyond his professional engagement, our speaker has made significant contributions as a university lecturer, independent consultant, and mentor. He is the founder and convener of the Safety Profits Foundation, where he advocates for safer and healthier workplaces. His academic achievements include dual master's degree, an MBA in oil and gas from Coventry University, and an LLM in business law and sustainable development from the University of Aberdeen. He is an active and committed member of professional organizations such as IEMA, CIWM, IIRSM, and IOSH. He is passionate about driving impactful change and shaping a safer, more sustainable future. Professionals, we are highly honored to have Mr. Edward Deborah as our speaker for the day. Please, if you can hear me and you are ready for our speaker, I want to see some reactions in the chat box before he takes over. I want to see some reactions in the chat box. Before our speaker takes over. I want to see some reactions in the chat box. So, yes, okay. I can see some readiness in the house, and that is very, good and encouraging. So thank you all. So at this juncture, I would welcome Mr. Edward Deborah to take over. Mr. Edward Deborah, these are your people, professionals. Mr. Edward Deborah is our speaker for the day. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this evening. I feel like we're going to have an informal conversation. This is not going to take the form of a normal lecture and stuff like that. So Daniel and I go way back, young Christians from the same church, being fed by the same pastor, going out to our professional journeys, and we all had to. The profession led us outside of the country, so we've still been in touch even at our various places globally. So he reached out to me and mentioned that, Ed, I'd like you to speak to your team. And then through Stephen also got in touch and mentioned that, oh, we'll be pleased if you can speak to our team this evening on this particular topic. All of you wants to know how certification and lifelong learning could drive your career success. And I felt, well, I really do not have anything to say but to share my own personal experiences, because I believe one of the key things that help drive change is when the person talking to you is actually seen it and done it. So I felt, okay, this is going to be a good opportunity to share a few bits that I've seen over the period. I must stress that I do not know it all, but the little I know is what I'm going to share with you. And the first disclaimer I'd like to issue is that everything I'm sharing here are strictly my thoughts. It does not reflect my employer's position in any way. So if anybody wants to align this with my employer, that would be wrong. Right. So if you can go ahead and start the, what's it called? If you can move the slides, that would be great. Move to the next slide, please. Right. So why this conversation matters? I mean, this day and age, I think we've all seen that the world is evolving. A few years ago, if you are born in Ghana, studied in Ghana, working in Ghana, you probably will live in Ghana for the rest of your life. You won't have the opportunity of moving outside the country to go do work and all of that. But now it has changed. You find that a lot more people are actually being pushed, headhunted from Ghana into various places globally. There's something that is driving that change. There's obviously something that the employers overseas are seeing, and for that reason, they're calling them. So when you hear the background noise, they are the seagulls. I decided to open my window because the British summer is really hot this time around, so we're struggling. So I've opened the windows. That's why you hear seagulls making noise. Don't be distracted. So there are a lot of things that have changed. A lot of things have changed. Energy market is not the same anymore. It's fluctuating. It's not as stable as it used to be. Digitalization has equally taken over a lot of things. And now you hear almost everybody talking about ESG. Even banks are talking about ESG. And then again, you also realize that automation, virtual realities and things are taking over a lot of the jobs that people used to do. So are you going to sit down with your 1990 strategy trying to fight a 2025 demon? I bet the answer is in your own mind. I mean, you know that that's not possible. You've got to scale up to be able to meet the demands of the changing job world. Careers are also evolving. These days, it's not just about technical competencies. You still need to have some strategic insights to be able to survive in the corporate space. You know, certification and learning have actually come to stay, and they are giving people the value that they deserve, things that you probably wouldn't even find outside the normal classroom. These days, we are learning from so many angles, using so many tools at our disposal. The challenge has always been how do you spot these strategic tools and how are you able to leverage on them to be better? So that is what I'm hoping to be able to unlock today for all of you. So next slide, please. Right. So UNESCO, you guys made me do some research, and UNESCO says that lifelong learning is a process that starts at birth and extends across the whole lifespan. It provides people of all ages and origins with learning opportunities and activities, responding to their specific needs in different life and professional stages. So this is quite clear and it's plain, simple as well. It tells you that everything that we're doing, there's an end goal. Once we were younger, we learned different things. The school we went, the food we ate, all of them have changed. Now, so many things are coming. So as things are evolving, we should also be able to align ourselves such that we can fit the situation. Because if you want to be how you used to be 10 years ago, you probably want to stay home. But now we are all evolving. As careers are changing, things are changing. We are also trying to align to be able to do that. So to do that, what do? We have to continuously pursue knowledge and skills. In health and safety, we have something we call SKATE, SKATE. When we say somebody is competent, that means that person has the skills, has got the knowledge, has got the ability, the training, and the experience. That is who is competent as far as health and safety is concerned. So if you don't pursue knowledge and skills, you can't get there. Again, you want to be relevant and competent, obviously. Being relevant means that having the right skills and putting them to use, right? So that in the room, you stand out. Instead of just fitting in, you've got to stand out. That's how you become relevant. Because once you are sought after in your area, everybody else will chase you and they would want to talk to you, want to support them and all of that. If you're able to solve real challenges, that's where you set yourself apart from the crowd. How do you do that? You've got to maximize the opportunities you get within your space. The opportunities are not far away. They are within your reach. You probably are not looking right. So today I'm hoping that I'll be able to unearth a few things for you to start thinking differently and seeing things differently. Once you are competent, once you have the right skills, you become relevant and you solve real challenges, you get the opportunity of influencing and driving positive impact. How do you do this? You get the skills, you get the skills, you become you have the knowledge, and you start solving problems. People will come to you. There's several examples I can give in this regard, not necessarily related to petroleum, but even in real life, right? Some people do so well in their sectors that they become change agents and they start driving change. That is how it is. Look at Daddy Lumba. May his soul rest in peace. He started his music, young guy, nobody really gave him a dog's chance. But after some time, he became a household name, an international icon for that matter, and started driving influence and driving positive impact. How did he do that? He built his skills brick by brick. So as young professionals, it's very important that you take the initiative yourselves. Nobody from anywhere is going to create that opportunity for you. You have to open the door yourself. Once you get the right skills, every door gets opened and you begin to get opportunities. The more you grow, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the more you become better at things. So you never stop learning. The only time that I can say that you may be able to stop learning is when you die. Until that time, you've got to keep going. Next slide. Next slide, please. Right. So the importance of certification. Again, I tried to look something on Cambridge Online Dictionary, and it suggested to me that certification is a process of earning an official document or act of providing an official document as proof that something has happened or been done through education and earned after passing and completing approved assessment. So you don't just get a certification like that. You have to go through a process, right? When all of you were in the university, you went through a process. At the end of the day, you got a certificate. You learned. People sat down to look at your grades. Then a committee sat down to say that, okay, this person got first class, that person got second class, and all of that. That's exactly what I've explained. So it's always very important that you begin to get those things in line. As somebody who wants to go to the formal route, you have no option than to go to the mail. So certification really important. As you evolve, you finish your first degrees. Now you are looking at getting maybe some global standards of relevance. This is where you begin to pursue other professional certifications outside your jurisdiction. I've heard most of you talk about NIBOSH. Most of you talk about IOSH courses, AIMA courses, and all of them. That's the global certification that you have to aspire to get before you can get opportunities. Because you see, when you look at some of the jobs and the global landscape, sometimes when you look at a job description, they make mention of specific certification they expect the ideal candidates to have. So if you do not have these ones, how do you compete with them? right? You sit in Ghana with all the knowledge, but not the exposure. It becomes very difficult. Trust me, once you're able to get one or two of them, you'll be able to open some doors that you never thought you would be able to. My breakthrough started in 2018, where I got the opportunity of being picked amongst one of the youngest people to travel to the UK to deliver a presentation at an IOSH conference, 2018. I think I was still working in oil and gas at the time. Yes. So I did come in, and then nobody from Africa was present. I was the only person. And in a big room, about 3,000 people, mostly white people, senior people who have been in health and safety for maybe 20, 30 years. Then I was just a younger person starting out. Then I started out not long ago. I got in there and I did my best. I spoke with a lot of passion. I knew the facts I was talking about. And by the time I finished, I got the opportunity of meeting the people who matter in health and safety globally. Those in America, those in the UK here, those in Canada, all those places. I met them in person. We exchanged numbers. A lot of them offered to be my mentor. So if you find me here today, it didn't start. I just didn't sleep in my room and start dreaming about it, and it happened. I put in the effort. And in trying to develop yourself, it costs money. The money that you are going to use to buy Kelewele, the same money that you're using to buy beer every Friday, is the same money you can save to drive impact in yourself. Right? It's the same money that you try to drive impact. So in thinking about chilling, in thinking about getting all those luxury goods that you do not need right now, pursue higher goals, look for that global standards of competence and excellence. And once you get to certain positions in your career, there are certain things you will not have to use your money to buy. People would get them for you for free. So pursue excellence and you get there. You've got to be credible as well. As a young person developing your career, the last thing you want is for some people not to trust you. So once you develop your credibility and people know that, okay, you are noted for this, you are trustworthy, they'll be able to give you more responsibility. There's a lot of problems to be solved, but people cannot trust those who are readily available to solve them. Make yourself available, make yourself credible, and the world will be your oyster. Another thing is that you also want to build confidence and open doors, right? The moment you get that, you build your confidence. I always say that confidence is the aroma you carry that allows you to be allowed access into a room, right? Confidence is that aroma or the aura you have that obviously gives you the opportunity to enter a room that is not fit for you. How do you build the confidence? By the skills. Once you get competent, once you have the right skills in place, you speak with a lot of confidence, you speak with your abilities is clear, everybody can relate that indeed you know what you're talking about, and they will allow you to get things done. So confidence will obviously open the doors when you know what you're talking about. You don't just start talking and you're fidgeting, you're talking to senior people, your hands are in your pocket, your hands are at your back. That's not where you show humility. Show that you know what you're about, because a lot of the time, for instance, if you have the opportunity of speaking with a lot of people outside of the country, the white people and all of that, they are looking for confidence because they know that they can train you to get better at what you do. What they need is for you to have confidence. Us from Ghana and the world, we are always made to believe that Akwalade Esel Bro Hwase. And even where you are not supposed to be humble or you're not supposed to keep quiet, you keep quiet. People would override you and you won't get to where you want to get to. But the minute you show that confidence, you show that zeal, you show that enthusiasm, opportunities get open for you. And when these opportunities get open, you've got to take advantage of it. So the importance of getting all this certification would help you to boost your own confidence, right? The minute you have that, imagine becoming a CM IOSH, chartered member of IOSH. You feel good about yourself. Getting CSP from the Americas, you feel good about yourself. Becoming a chartered environmentalist. Now, who isn't talking about sustainability? Everybody is, including banks. So if you become a chartered environmentalist, then you know that indeed you've got the right skills, you've got the right opportunities to change narratives. I was sitting here in the UK and Business and Financial Times got in touch with me last month. I had to come to Ghana to do a one-day summit for them at Alisa Hotel. It's not as if they couldn't find anybody in Ghana to do this, but they saw how I positioned myself, they saw my trajectory journey, and they felt that, okay, this guy could add some flavor to what we're talking about, right? So you need to take opportunities. Once you get your confidence intact, start building your competence. And again, there's something we call continual professional development. You never stop. Continual professional development. You never stop. You always have to, once you have the certification, you need to maintain the certification. That's what a lot of people don't tell you. It's not just enough passing the exams and getting a certificate. You've got to maintain it. And by maintaining it is going through continual professional development programs, attending conferences, attending workshops, and all of those things, focus group discussions, learning new things, making sure you reflect on the new things that you can record against your CPD log. That is how you grow. That is how you get better. That is how you learn more. Next slide, please. Right. So why does it even matter in petroleum? In the olden days, it was just about drilling, human beings going through all the stress and things. Now it has changed. A lot of things have evolved. They are using a lot of machines and things to do the work that human beings used to do. So if you don't upskill, what happens? You won't find a job, or you won't have a job in the next few years. You've got to upskill. That is how you become relevant. So in petroleum engineering, it is very important. If you don't upskill, you can't use virtual realities. If you don't upskill, you can't even use all this cloud-based software that they use to do the kind of work that you guys do. You won't be able to do them. So upskilling is very, very important. Having the right skills. Communication is key. If you can't communicate, you can't get it done. So much as you are getting the technical skills, you need to get the soft skills as well, right? How to use all these programs online and all that. It helps you. So going on Snapchat to be chatting with million people, laughing over a lot of things. I'm not saying don't have Snapchat, but going on Snapchat to laugh with people, use that same time to develop some skills online. These days, there are so many things you can do online for free. Find them and start making good use of them, and you will thank your future self. Next slide. Right. So once you get all the certification, what then becomes necessary for you is that you begin to earn more money, right? You begin to earn more money. The more money you earn, the better you feel, the better you can afford the things that you need. And you can also actually improve on your own skill sets. The more money you earn, it helps you to, get a seat at the table. You start getting faster promotions and leadership opportunities. So as you earn more the certification, your work is speaking for you. Faster promotions are coming in. So I have a guy, and Daniel knows him very well. I'm not scared to use him as an example. Any of you can go look for him. He's called Gabriel Opoku Asare. We all used to work with him, or we used to be in church with him and all that. Gabriel has developed himself to a point that he doesn't spend less than 3 years in an organization. He started from KNET, went to Unilever, Mohenani Group. He's been to Guinness Ghana, Guinness Africa, Guinness Global. He's done fantastic work. How did he do all that? Upscaling, right? So there are so many examples. Even me, I started from Puma Energy in Ghana, building fuel stations, terminals, operating them and stuff. I moved on to construction, built some hospitals for one of these NMS, so the Fomena Hospital, Takoradi Military Hospital, I think. Yes, Kumawu Hospital, and a few others. Finished them, moved on. Started independent consultancy for a bit, moved to the UK further studies. Now I'm in waste industry. I never dreamt of getting into waste. But once I got in here, trust me, I'm not leaving. It's one of the most interesting industries you can find. How is this possible? Develop yourself. The opportunities will come, and start taking advantage of them, right? The moment you start developing yourself, your employer also sees that this guy is a hot cake. They want to keep you. Another thing that's going to blow your mind here is that, and these are all personal experiences. See, in Ghana, somebody can confidently tell you that you don't need all the certifications to do the thing you're doing, or you don't need all of them, they are not necessary. Here in the UK, if you say you are competent in something, the next question they ask is that, can you prove that you are competent? Where is your certification? So once you show that, then they give you the opportunity, because the laws are such that even the health and safety executive, the regulator, if it comes to your site to do their own audit and inspections, and you tell them that you have a health and safety manager, the first question they ask is that, what qualifications in health and safety do you have? It's not about working years and years and years in the field. Working years and years in the field and having the experience is great, but they will still ask you to have to show the qualifications that you have that is backing you to do that job. In fact, there are some roles that they have minimum entry requirement that you need to have before you take that role. So once you have the right certification in place, the world becomes your oyster. It gets things going. You start moving around nicely, and then obviously you begin to rise in your career. That's why you find a lot more people rising very quickly, apart from those who do politics. If you want to go to the right route, get the right certification, get the right exposure, get the right knowledge, and you get there. Another thing is that the minute you get that, you are trusted and you become relevant. A lot of these professional bodies that give the certification make you sign on to what we call the code of conduct. So there are things that you have to do to maintain your certificate. Things like your integrity, being professional and being truthful and honest are key cardinal points that they hold dear. If anybody makes any allegation against you that borders on integrity and dishonesty, your license can be withdrawn. So you always have a check on you that makes you feel like, okay, people are looking at you, so you've got to make sure you're doing the right things. Even wherever you're hiding, you've got to get things done. The minute you have this certification to headhunting becomes the order of the day. It's just up to you to decide whether you want to move or not. But this is where I caution young people. Once you start your career, do not be thinking too much about money. The money will come as you develop your skills and experience. So look for the skills and experience and grow in it before you begin to think about the money. So if you are chasing money quickly, you will end up getting all the big jobs, but you may not have the skills to execute them. So always think about how well you are performing before you begin to think about the kind of courses you want to, begin to think about moving jobs and all that. It's very, very important. Hone your skills, build them properly, and then the world becomes your oyster. Next slide. Right. So in the context of Ghana, if you are trying to look at our energy future, there's so much potential for petroleum engineering people to harness. Jubilee fields, I mean, there are new wells that are being found and all that, it would help you. And once you begin to have that local expertise, you become a national asset, right? So grab the certification and then hone your skills, and in no time, you become a leader. And you'll be surprised how far you can go. Now, I've listed some opportunities for you to look for certification. SPE certification is something that all of you know, so it's something that you need to take advantage of. Then there's Prince 2, that's project management for the UK people, and PMP, I think it's American and more global. Begin to think about that. There are several ESG courses. If you get in touch with me, I can support you through those ESG courses, even with the NABOSH. This is not to advertise, but if you need support in those two, NABOSH, IOSH, ICEP, ISO certifications, all of them. No robotics. I can't teach anybody robotics. But apart from that, the ESGs, the NABOSH, the ICEP is now, IMA is now ICEP. So it's now Institute of Sustainability and Environmental Professionals. It used to be Institute of Environment Assessment and Management. Now it is Environment Assessment Associations. Yes. Now it's ICEP. So make a note of that. Don't confuse the two. One has taken over the other. And then ISO certifications. You are working with a lot of management systems these days. So as part of the process, you need to develop expertise in how to audit, to maintain those systems. Once you have those certifications, it helps open the doors and you become better and better at what you do. So don't keep your eyes off the ball. Rather remain focused and don't be distracted, because there will be so many distractions that may come your way. But once you are focused, you'll be able to achieve exactly what you are looking for. Next slide. Right. So now you've got to think about a mindset shift, right? If you don't change your mind, you won't be able to get to where you want to get to. So see learning as an investment, not cost. See learning as an investment, not cost. I started by saying that the money that you use to buy Filippo's catfish and tilapia Friday night is that same money that you can invest to do IOSH Managing Safely course. Can you drop some current pleasures of life and focus more on the future? Start saving money, because all these professional courses are not cheap. I must stress, they are not cheap, but they have a way of paying back themselves. So once you get it, you'll be able to earn more money to be able to compensate you for the losses you may have incurred. So see learning as an investment, not a cost. Learning agility is also a top trait. Do not sit down there and say that, oh, my work is I'm so busy at work, I don't even get the time to study. That's not true. You're not serious about it enough, or you're not focused about it enough. Once you change your priorities, you begin to use things properly. Your time would make more sense to you the moment you are very committed to something that you've got to achieve. So learning, be agile in your learning, find better ways of still learning, and don't go by the strict rule of, by all means, I have to do it at this time. No, be agile, be open to changes that may happen in life and all of that. Life will happen to everybody at some point, but you've got to still be focused and find a better way of leveraging between busy schedule and making time for professional development. One thing that you should understand is that your employer probably is in love with you today, but you will not know when they will fall out of love with you. They may decide to cancel your employment at any time. If you don't have the right skills, you don't have the right certifications and things, which door are you going to knock on to get opened? So live every day as you are losing your job. And if it does happen, what are your options? Be ready for the market so that you are not found wanting. Don't be like those people who will spend 40 years in one particular company doing the same thing and they tell you they have 40 years of experience. It is 1 year of experience repeated over 40 years. That's it. So gain the right certification, gain the right exposure, and you'll be relevant all the time. You've got to stay curious. The curiosity you use to watch Big Brother is the same curiosity you can use to learn a skill to boost your competency and all of that. So stay curious and be open-minded. Don't be strict in your ways that, oh, this is how we do it. No, be flexible. Things are changing and at a fast pace at that. So always be open to it and it would help. LinkedIn is also very important, a very effective tool. They've got a lot of free learning resources that you should take advantage of. Do not just go there for likes and watch people's status and be threatened that somebody is achieving so much. We're all not born at the same time. Everybody's time would come. So if it's somebody shining today, just know that you are next in line for your own miracle. Be ready for it, prepare, and the opportunity will come. Webinars, another way of getting your mindset shifted is attending webinars. The more you attend, the better things you learn. The more you attend, the more you get to know things that you didn't know before. And that will help you to learn more, to move you to a better level in your career. Professional bodies, I've mentioned this already. It's important that you join any of them that suits your career. You're already part of SPE, which is great. Take advantage of SPE. Make sure that you try and find a mentor within SPE who would direct your career. Mentorship is just simple. They are guiding you to walk in their light so that the mistakes that they made, you wouldn't make them too. So it's important to find a mentor. In fact, that's one of the ways you can actually aspire for greater things. Find a mentor who would help you navigate the course of your career, and that will make a lot of sense to you. There are several learning platforms apart from LinkedIn. Udemy is one, Coursera, EDX, all of them are there. Take advantage, learn a course today. In fact, build your own portfolio and say that every 3 months you learn something new and go according to it. Within a year, you'll be surprised the amount of things you'll be able to learn and how it will benefit you. And then conferences. I mean, this year, I think in September, I'm coming up with the third in the series of my conferences. And I'm hoping that if you have the time, you can join in to learn a thing or two. It will be held in Accra. All of you in petroleum, I'm sure you've heard of a particular name that is very popular. He's called Joe Mennin. And those of you who have heard of Piper Alpha disaster, that disaster that happened in Scotland some years back, right? That guy was a survivor, Joe Mennin. I'm bringing him to Ghana. He's going to share his experience on risk, how the accident happened, how he managed to survive, and all of those things. Those building early careers, such platforms are good opportunities for you to learn. And certificate will be provided. This certificate could contribute towards your continual professional development. So take advantage of these things. Whenever you see the adverts and things, take advantage and begin to run. I believe that it would open a lot of doors for you that will make you learn different things at different places. So for learning, until we die, we always have to learn. So be ready that since you've taken this path, you decided not to be an arm robber. You wanted to study. So once you want to study, you've got to go to the full length. Do not leave anything behind. And that is how, when you shift your mindset, so many things could change to make your life better. Next slide. Right. So your action plan. You've got to start performing your own SWOT analysis, right? The things that you now see that they are your weaknesses, you have to look at them. And then those ones that you see that they are a threat, you've got to look at them. See where your strength lies. Once you're able to pick up your strength, then you'll be able to navigate that to get things right. So it's very, very important. And at all times, you've got to choose the certifications. In fact, be a lifelong learner, because what you don't know would not give you the opportunities to explore other things tomorrow. So be hungry, keep getting hungry, fuel your hunger, start building it up, and you'll be fair. Create a learning calendar. I'm wrapping up shortly. Create a learning calendar. Just as you have your calendar for meetings and other things, create one for learning so that you can learn something different within a short space. That will make sure that you are always relevant, your skills are fresh, and you always have something to say, something to contribute in the room towards building something. And of course, build your network. Note that the value of your network will determine your net worth. The value of your network will determine your net worth. If you continue to roll with people who are not going nowhere, it becomes very difficult for you to aspire for greater heights. So build your network, and that would help you to get the right connections who will show you the ropes so that you can be relevant in your career and even rise up quite quickly. Thank you very much for your time. And I'll end with this quote. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. That's by Alvin Toffler. So if you have any questions, please, I'm happy to take them. And if there's anywhere else I can support your team, Engineer Steven, Engineer Daniel, if there's any way I can support your teams, please let me know. And I'm more than happy to give some time back to the society. Thank you very much for having me. That's me.
Thank you, Mr. Edward Deborah, for this informative and eye-opening session. And we've been able to explore how professional certification enhances credibility and job prospects. And Mr. Edward Deborah develop credibility, and we can develop credibility by having the right skills and being available. That's how we become relevant and start driving change. And once we get the right skills, doors open. And it's not about just getting the right skill, but continual professional development. You never stop. You keep growing and growing and growing. And you do not think about money at the beginning, but as you grow your skills, you earn more. Thank you so much, Mr. Edward Deborah. At this juncture, I would make room for questions, and please, you do want to drop them in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and you'll be allowed to speak.
Yes, Stephen, your hand is up. You can go ahead.
All right, Ed, thank you so much. This is very insightful. In fact, most of us are navigating our careers. We are still looking at ways where we can broaden our path, and this session has been very enlightening. Thank you so much. We are looking forward to having you on a lot of our sessions. This is my question. So, after gaining a certificate, how do you use it? There's a lot of them that is out there, and people are pushing for certification. Now, how do you use it after getting one?
So it depends. First of all, it depends on which one you get and whether it's applicable to where you're studying. For starters, you need to look at what you are doing now. If that's a career you want to build, if that's where you want to be in the next in your future, or that's the profession you want to build on, then the minute you get it, you apply the knowledge, the skills you've gained within the job that you're doing. That's how you grow. Certification is paper. Application on the ground is what makes the whole equation better. So wherever you find yourself, what job you're doing, if that's what you want to do, you've got to explore that, get a certification within that area and start using it. That's how it is. Does that help you?
Yes, that's very helpful. So I have a follow-up. Now, to
Right.
start with this whole certification, I've gone through some certifications, so with my experience, there are some that has requirements, and some of the requirements immediately, even though you do have the edge to go through that certification program, because of the requirements, you're unable to, in fact, go through it and even finish it. So how do you navigate that as people that may not find themselves in positions where they may be able to go through it? For example, someone that is unemployed but has a certain plan, has a career path in mind that I want to go through this career, and I know that these are the certifications that I need. There are some certifications that require job experience. Some require that you have probably done a project that you can apply, but you probably don't have all these things, but you still need a certificate. So how do you go about a situation like this?
So you always have to be open to volunteering opportunities as well. A lot of the time, people want to do their job and they don't want to volunteer anything, their time and resources and skills like that. So once you don't volunteer anything, you don't learn anything. You've got to find a job first to be able to navigate all this. But in the absence of a job, once you are volunteering anything, you can still get the skills. As I mentioned earlier, some of these certifications are very expensive, right? So you've got to have a plan. Start with those ones. If you don't have a job, you're not earning any money. Start with those ones that do not cost you anything. Learn from there. Once you get a job, then you can begin to navigate those ones. And the ones that obviously you need a lot of experience or requirements to meet, this is why a mentor comes in. You can get a mentor who can open the doors for you without necessarily going through all those processes. You bypass it. Right? So find a mentor who is worthy, who is credible, who can support you, and they'll be able to show you how to beat the system. It's not like you are cheating the system, but there are ways that you can go around all those things. Volunteering is one. The job that you are doing, you can continue doing that if you don't have, and you have any opportunity, giving your time for free and all that would help you build those skills and be able to meet the requirements. Sometimes all you need might be a referee to say that I know you, reference letter, and that can open a lot of doors. The minute you get somebody who can reference you and then you are in a good relationship with the person, you'll be able to navigate these courses without any stress at all.
Okay.
Was that helpful?
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Edward Deborah. Mr. Ose Benedict Cookman, I can see your hand raised. Please, you can speak. You can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Edward, for that wonderful presentation. Yes, so about the certification, I want to find a student, what kind of certification will advise us to get as entry level into a job? Because the fear is that sometimes we might get this NEBOR certification and we might end up using them. So is it also advisable that we acquire the certification before we enter into the job market, or we have to enter before some of them we acquire them? So I just want to get your advice on some of them. I don't know if you get my question. Thank you.
Right. So if you are a student, it depends on what you want to do. The career you want to build, that will determine the kind of certification you need. Now, most importantly, even as a student and you're looking for work, when you look at the job description, it is always very clear on what's expected, right? So if you are a student and you have NABOSH qualification, is not a qualification that helps you do just health and safety, right? It's actually, well, maybe because I've got a mindset change, but it's actually a qualification that you need for life. So you may have it and you can apply it in any sector, not just oil and gas sector. So be open-minded. Do not be stagnant in your thinking that this is the only way. Apart from that, there's nothing else I can do. Be open-minded. The moment you are open-minded, you can get certification at no cost because you're a student, you don't have the funding. As I mentioned, there's a lot of free courses online. Udemy is one, LinkedIn Learning is one, Allison Learning is also another. So many ones for free. Learn. As you learn, you acquire them. By the time you find a job and you start making money, you'll be able to pay for the most expensive ones to apply. But if you have the money now, you still want to do it, trust me, no knowledge gained is a waste of time. No knowledge gained is a waste of time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's all right.
Thank you, Mr. Edward Debra. Okay. Mr. Ose Favor, please, I can see your hand up. Please, you can ask your question.
Okay, mine is not really a question. I wanted to add something to what Mr. Edward was saying briefly, if I'm permitted.
Go ahead.
Yes. I think a lot of people have an issue with deciding what they have to do career-wise. So most people are doing certifications and masters in hope that they will find something that will interest them to do, and which I think is a problem. So it comes back to what you were saying, that look, you do when you're unemployed, you do volunteering work, or even when you're in school. Also, yes, there are free courses online where they can take, or take small jobs that may not pay too much, but can help them shaping their view of what they want to do. So it's better that way than to be spending money doing programs where you may have the knowledge, but certain programs actually come with experience for you to be able to expedite this properly. Like I knew of an unemployed person who was studying corporate governance. And I'm like, you just finished school, you've not entered the work field, you want to go and do an MBA in corporate governance. So these are some of the issues people do have. So back to what you are saying, volunteering work from school and when you are done, and also starting with like free courses to help shaping your mind and a little job here and there. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for adding your voice to that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edward Debra. So please, we have some questions in the chat box and I would read them out so you would help us with the solution. So the first question, on building networks, is there a group where new people who have interest in engineering join?
SPE is one of the engineering groups, isn't it? So yeah, instead of engineers in Ghana is one. It's Chartered Institute of Engineers in the UK is another. All of them are professional bodies. Once you join them, you obviously have meet a lot of people who are like-minded in the same setup. That's how you begin to build your network.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So please, our next question is, should one pursue another master's degree or go ahead with certification in their fields of work? And secondly, I highlight more updates on your upcoming conference, date, time, and venue if possible. Share link to the page or website.
Right. So interestingly, pursuing another master's doesn't actually make you specialist in an area. Master's is more or less like rising to leadership position. So if you haven't built a lot of experience from the ground up, when you get a master's degree, it really doesn't support your course that much. What you need are the practical ones. So once you are in the job and you are building your own skill, master's doesn't make you specialized. Professional bodies make you specialized. So if you want to be a chartered engineer, Ghana Institute of Engineers is the place to be. If you have a master's already, join Ghana Institute of Engineers and begin to rise through the process. Once you start gaining a lot of experience and start rising up the career ladder, then you can think about another master's, because master's really is about managing people. Especially if you are doing the MBA, it's about managing people, managing a business, managing all that, not necessarily specific. Unless you are going to do petroleum engineering as masters or reservoir engineering as masters, that is more specialized. But if it's any of these management courses, you are come to manage people. So how are you considering managing people when you are just starting up your career? I don't think it sits quite right. What I would advise is that once you are in a job, find those professional ones that are affiliated to the sector you are in. First of all, if you are working in an area where you're not committed to, you're not passionate about it, it becomes a chore. Begin to look at your own self and see what you want to do, what you're passionate about. Once you find that, you begin to find courses and things that will help you become better in the field. Then you get there. Masters could actually be an afterthought. That's not to say masters is not good. It is, but to build competency as a starter, somebody who is now starting, you do not necessarily need that one. You can grow up and get it later on. And then again, on the conference, yes, it's the Safety Prophet Foundation. The tickets are not out yet, but I think by Monday it should be. So the best place that you can get all the details is to follow us on LinkedIn, the Safety Prophet Foundation on LinkedIn, the Safety Prophet Foundation on LinkedIn, and then on Instagram you can find us at TSPF Official. And then again on X is the same thing, TSPF Official. I'll put it in the chat so that whoever wants to see can find that. Next question, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Our next question. In the offshore sector, one would require some certifications, and these are very expensive. The motivation is there to do them, but getting the chance in the sector after the certifications is really difficult. In this situation, how does one stay motivated to get them?
Chairman, as for the motivation, it's intrinsic. You have to really be determined to do it. Nothing good comes easy in this life. So if you are thinking that you're going to get everything else the way it's supposed to be as you expect it, it's not going to happen. So always be determined that regardless of it, you are self-motivating. When one door closes, another gets opened. But guess what? Preparation, meeting opportunity is what brings success. So if the opportunity comes and you are not prepared, you can't harness it. So once you've been offshore and you have the right certification, it doesn't matter. You get opportunity to get in and you still be fine. So please do not look too much about the current challenges. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the future, where you want to be, where you want to see your future self, and start working towards it. Up for the doors, they will get shut all the time, but you've got to build that strength, that resilience to be able to break the doors as they shut. Bigger opportunities would come. A lot of the time, it is fear. And in my mind, fear is false evidence appearing real. The outside of fear is actually success. So if you are scared, you can't get there. But if you are courageous, you'll be able to break through and you'll be fine. So please start looking at ways that you can get things going. It'll be great. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Edward Deborah. Our next question is, how do you join these groups? Because I see many pages of these groups on sites, but which is or are the right platforms to share your thoughts and also connect? You don't get access. In case there is a platform where they can be accessed, please share it too.
All these things are online. SPE Ghana have a website. SPE International have a website. Ghana Institute of Engineering, they have a website. If you want to do more of these things, I'm sure you have seen Stephen. He's put his number there. Reach out to him. Charity is on the call. If you want to join SPE Ghana, reach out to her. She'll give you the ropes. The rest of them, just do a simple search on Google. You would find them. But like I said, the fact that you've got to join professional bodies does not mean you should join just anyone. join the one in line with your career. And if that career is what you want to pursue, then you've got to join that. If that's not what you want to pursue, look at what you are more passionate about. There are several professional bodies. Then you can join them, but they are mostly online. You find them all online. And once you become a member, that's when they start adding you to the various groups within that setup. Then you start building your network, start growing in that area and all of that. So that's how it works.
Thank you very much. Wow.
That's all right.
So you do not just join any page, but you join the
No,
one in line with your career.
absolutely. That is how it will make sense. I mean, if there are several professional bodies that I know, but I won't join any of them if they won't benefit my career or my plans in any way. All of these things are not cheap. Membership fees every year and all of that, they are not cheap. So if you are just joining anything at all, it's you throwing money away. You've got to know exactly what you want to do, then you explore that one.
You get to know what exactly you want to do. Okay. So I have a question. As a young professional, how do I focus on first gaining experience or collecting certificates?
So once you are in the job, you begin to grow. Now you are at Ghana Gas. Learn all you can. When you start making money, they start paying you allowances, national service and things. Save some. Think about your future self. Start using the national service money to develop yourself. As you do that, by the time you are through with service, you've gained extra skills, extra things than the normal people that you started service with. That is what will set you apart for bigger opportunities. Because if you are supposed to be retained, and it turns out that after the service, you still have your first degree than everybody else does, then it's some way. But if after the service, they've seen that, oh, you've done this, done this online course, you've done that, you've added value to yourself, you become more relevant, you become more somebody that they are actually going to be more interested in you, in supporting you grow. Because every employer wants to see continual improvement in their staff. So where you are, learn all you can, make some time, save some money to study other things, and that's how you grow.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Please, I can see Mr. Ose Benedict's hand up. Please, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Deborah, I wanted to find out, since you spoke about volunteering earlier on, I wanted to find out if your conference is open for students to volunteer. Thank you.
Benedict, you're a bad boy. Well, we can explore that. Yes, we can explore that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this interactive section. For this interactive session, sorry. I have a final question. Please, how can I map my learning path based on where I want to be in 5 to 10 years to come?
You need to find a mentor. It's so easy. And then you yourself will have to determine what you want to do with yourself. Once you know what you want to do, it becomes very easy for anybody to support you. So you've got to be hungry for it. Find a mentor and you get the guidance you need.
I have to be hungry for it and find a mentor. Yes,
just
please.
as the same way you were looking for things desperately when you wanted to go to university. You were serious about it, applying to school, staying off. Even in the university, you wanted to get a certain class, so you're always determined to study to make it. It's the same thing with the professional world. How you see where you want to be determines how far or how quick you can get there. If you don't have any plan to really explore how to get there, trust me, no amount of work will be able to get you there.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, please. I believe all our questions have been answered. Thank you, Mr. Edward, Deborah, for this session and for this presentation. And I know we've been equipped as professionals with knowledge and strategies to maximize certifications and lifelong learning for career advancement. Thank you so much. At this juncture, I would want to take a feedback survey. We would want to do a little exercise. So please check in the chat box. You want to check in the chat box. There is a link in the chat box, and you want to tap on the link and give us a feedback so that we improve on our consecutive meetings. Please check the chat box and give us a feedback on our meeting. Thank you all so much. Please don't forget to do it. Do all to tap on the link and give us a feedback on our meeting so we improve on our consecutive meetings. As you do that, you want to make here for the following announcements. And on the 1st of August, on the 1st of August 2025. Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you so much. On the 1st of August 2025, we are having our members town hall meeting with SPE International President at the Petroleum Commission Conference Room at Accra. And you do not want to miss it at all. You want to add it to your schedule and be present so you partake more as you've partaken this evening. So thank you all for adding it to your schedule and would meet there. At this juncture, I would want to welcome Engineer Stephen Foucault to give us the vote of thanks. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Charity. Good evening, everyone, once again. So, on behalf of SPA Ghana Session and the Career Guide and Outreach Committee, I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all of you for joining and partaking in this exciting session. Mr. Edward, we are so grateful for your time and the wealth of knowledge that you have shared with us today. In fact, you made it very practical. You shared your experiences, the experiences of others, and then you've enlightened us on how we should challenge ourselves and take ownership of our personal and professional development. Charity, kudos to you. Thank you so much for steering this conversation. You've done so well, and you gracefully ensure that we've made the most out of this conversation. And in fact, we can't end this conversation without thanking you, the participants. We thank you for your presence. We thank you for your engagement. We thank you for your questions. And we are hoping that you are not leaving this session just empty. You are leaving here informed. You are leaving here inspired. And then you are leaving here with the commitment to lifelong learning. Lastly, I would like to thank everyone who put up their minds to make sure that this conversation happened. Thank you, Senior James. I've been worrying a lot, and in fact, you helped us pull this off. Thank you so much. And finally, I would like to say that let's all keep on get connected. Let's keep learning. Let's support each other. And then finally, we hope to see you on 1st August in our town hall meeting. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Yeah, just to add that the students here tomorrow we are having your town hall meeting with the president at the Earth Science Department of the University of Ghana. If you are in Accra, please make your way to the Earth Science Department, University of Ghana, Legon. And then if you are outside Accra, please, we've shared the links to your chapter presidents. Please ask them and then they will share it with you so that you can dial in. And then on Friday, as they've already announced, we have a members town hall meeting with SP International President. He just touched down in Accra, Ghana, and he's looking forward to meeting all of you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good night.